All right, you're gonna be, have to sign in by Zoom as per Judge McKenna. And I'm gonna give you the directions to do that in 1 second, okay?
It didn't say on the notice anything about that, so that's
Well, I'm
why.
letting you know now, ma'am, I just spoke to the judge.
Thank you. Did you speak to McKenna?
Harvey?
You spoke to McKenna?
Yeah.
Okay.
She's on the bench right now. She told me to have you sign in by a Zoom, okay? We're gonna find, here we go.
Wouldn't have had to have driven for 30 minutes if
What's that?
Wish I hadn't had to have driven for 30 minutes.
Yeah, I'm sure. You might want to call ahead of time, but if you're not wearing a mask, we're not letting you in. As for the Supreme Court Justice, it's not us. We're just doing what we're told, okay? Here's the instructions right here. Right there, follow those instructions. If you have any problem, oh, wait a second, this is Spanish. You might not be able to read.
Come on up. How are you doing today?
I'm good, sir.
You here for the court?
Yes, sir.
What's the name, please?
Travis, Oldham.
There you go. If you have any problems, call that number right here, okay?
Anything that
That's a sign in, follow these directions. That's a sign in for Judge McKenna. If you have any problem, call that number, okay?
Thank you. I appreciate it very much.
No problem. You have a good day.
You too.
All right. Go ahead, sir.
Well, they wouldn't let me in this time.
For what reason?
There were different sheriffs this time.
Yeah, they're the only one that's here. Like, well, I know what he drives. He's the tallest of all of them. Well, taller than us. Anyway, he's the only one back that's here all the time. The others are fill-ins. So the part-timers, they won't let you in.
Oh,
Why won't they let you in?
I don't know. They said that it's the court order, and I asked for the court order and they didn't give it to me, and so I can't read it.
Why?
They were very hostile.
Who's that? The sheriffs?
Yes.
Well,
And they let me in last time.
well, if you're representing yourself, there's certain documents they have to give you. Because it's like, if you're representing yourself, now you become a lawyer. I mean, it's not, you don't have the paper saying you went to school to be a lawyer, but you're representing yourself. So
Right.
Yeah, it should be. I thought they should have to give you that if you're representing yourself.
They said I have to sign in by Zoom, but they didn't say that on my notice anywhere. So I had to come all the way out here as a 25, 30-minute drive,
Golly.
only to be told that I can't go in this time. And you know
I thought
that
today was a court date for you,
it is.
but you can't go in for your own court?
Right. And the sheriff he said that everybody has to wear a mask, and he had his mask down by his chin. His nose was exposed.
Well, I would have said, why don't you wear yours? You got to wear a mask, don't you?
I said that last time and they got really angry at me, so I just
Well, you're not breaking the law. They can't arrest you.
leave it at
Let them get mad. That's being hostile. File suit on them for harassment. They do have, I've run into a couple of people here. I run into lots of people here as long as I've been doing this, but there's a couple. One, I forget her name, but they're public defenders. So if you can't afford a lawyer, they represent you.
Mm-hmm. All the lawyers I've spoken to, and I've spoken to many, after they talk to the prosecutor, they come back and insist that I need to take a plea deal, and they pressure me to take a plea deal instead of defending me.
So in other words, you're guilty. I thought you're innocent until you're proven guilty.
I think things have changed.
I know things have changed.
I've never been through the criminal procedure, but
Nowadays you got to prove your innocence.
Yeah, when I was they put me in jail without a trial for 40 hours, and they treat the people in there despicably, and it was filthy. They didn't care about COVID in the jail. I mean, the toilet was covered in diarrhea,
Clean.
and so was the sink. And you had to urinate without any privacy, and they had cameras in there, and they put me in an isolation cell, and I couldn't talk to anybody or go outside or anything. They wouldn't let my husband come see me or find out what was going on with me. They wouldn't let me have a phone call to a lawyer. I demanded a right to counsel, to call someone, and they would not allow me to call anybody.
Did they give you, allow you? What I
They-
would be thinking is documenting this stuff. Me, knowing myself, I would be wanting a piece of paper and documenting.
Yeah, but what do you do after that? Because none of the lawyers want to take your case.
Well, you got to have a whole list of documents. I found this out when I was doing this, working at GM. They were violating my rights according to the union and according to management, and I documented for months, not just weeks, but several months. And I had my armor and I had my weapons, and I went to, everybody has a boss. Everybody's got bosses. So I just went I just went straight up there to almost the plant manager, but he was like under the plant. And of course, he even asked, have you hired, after he looked at all my documents and listened to me, he says, do you have a lawyer involved? I said, no, I'm trying to deal this without a lawyer, but no, I'm not suing nobody. Well, come on, let me go out there. He walked with me all the way to where my workstation was and talked to the people that were abusing me. Things changed. But I think it all stemmed because I had all this documentation.
Well, the difference is that when you're dealing with law enforcement and the court system, that's piranha eating piranha.
Yeah.
So
I know it's a different.
yeah, the
it's
attorneys
totally
don't want to.
different
They don't want to look bad,
Yeah.
or take on a case that isn't going to be strong enough in their
Yeah.
mind.
Sometimes it might be best. Tell me your name again.
Shannon.
Shannon, sometimes, and I'm just trying to think this out, as discouraging you are, and you might be fighting a losing battle here, and it's stressing you out. We're just human. We're not Jesus. We're human. We have our faults. They got theirs. But God tells us to love our enemies and pray for those that persecute you. It's like reaping hot coals on their head. Sometimes you may just have to, I'm not saying you're at wrong. I'm saying that if they're at wrong, you're. Sometimes you just have to swallow your pride and say, okay, I'm just going to submit to you what's going on and let me pay the penalty. That's what Jesus did on the cross. He paid our debts on the cross, and he says, be like I am, for I am holy, I be holy. I'm just giving you food for thought. I'm not telling you what to do. I'm just telling you to think about this, because if you already drove all this time out here and you see it went nowhere, and it's going to happen again. It might happen again. It could happen 3 and 4 times, and it's just causing you to be stressed out. And is life really worth it? Is it really worth it?
It's not for me. It's
So it might,
for our freedom.
Yeah, and I know
And
sometimes winners never quit and quitters never win. I'm not saying to give up, but sometimes we just have to step back and say, okay, this is in your hands, God, and I'm just going to submit to their authorities. And it depends on, I don't know what you're submitting to. See, you do, I don't. But just weigh that option out. You have the right just to, it's in your court right now to either still fight this. And I'm saying maybe you're fighting a losing battle. I don't know. Maybe you're fighting a winning battle. I don't know.
Yeah.
But you don't even have a lawyer that you represent. So you're going in there kind of.
I have God.
Well, you got God.
God is my
Yeah.
attorney.
Yeah.
And I'm representing his face
Right.
because I'm made in his image.
Yeah.
And so for me, it's a religious and spiritual matter to cover my face because I'm made in the image of God. So when I cover,
Don't let it violate your faith. That since
When-
you said that, yeah, I wouldn't.
it's a religious expression, and it's also free speech because
Right.
your face is one of the most basic expressions of freedom
And we have
that
to
there
have-
is.
Nowadays in this society, we have to have leaders step up. We have to have leaders step up like you. Maybe you're one of those leaders. I give you this true. This is a good scenario. See, us Christians a lot of times have been not voicing our opinion, and we turn the other cheek and let all those leftists, mean and evil people abuse us. And we're not doormats to wipe our feet on and go on. We got to stand up for our rights. And this is what I saw on video clip on a channel I was watching. It was Newsmax, and that's really about the best fair one I can find. It's Newsmax, and they're not perfect either, but they showed this video clip in another country, and this is just telling a true story. What we need leaders is that there was this bunch of people out in this big field. It looked like some kind of festival, and there was music playing, and this one guy got up and he started dancing with the music. He was just kind of moving around with the music, and that went on for about a minute or so, and then here comes one other guy, got up right next to him, and now there's two up there dancing. So here's the majority of the people were still sitting down, but there's only two dancing. And after about another minute, here comes 3 and 4 or 5 more people, and after about 10 minutes, another song played. After about 10 minutes, now the majority of the people were sitting, the majority of the people were dancing, and the minority was sitting. And it all took because one person got up there and other people followed. They got along. So it takes, nowadays we need to get some leaders up there, and you may be one of them, to get up there and stand up for our religious beliefs and say, no, I'm not going to conform to that. And you may get locked up. You may have to pay the price, like Paul did. He went in prison many times because he was preaching Christ.
Absolutely.
But God always opened up doors for him to come out. But at some point, you know, Paul, I'm not going to say he lost the battle, but eventually he was martyred, you know. But we need leaders nowadays, and you may be one of them. Just get up there, and you know what? Other people will see that. I'm seeing it, and I'm hearing it. It's going to motivate me. It may motivate other people. So.
And you being here when I came out last time, I had never seen you here before. Well, I'd been here twice, 3 times. And that was the first time I had seen you here, and Bob.
The
Bill.
guy that was with me was Bill.
Bill. And it dawned on me as I was driving away that God placed 2 men of God outside the doors of the courthouse.
Stop. Hey, stop. Okay. He's gonna hit. Hey. Stop.
There's a car behind you.
It's right behind you. It's right there. Oh my God, I think he hit it.
Did he?
I heard it. Yeah, I think he did. I heard it didn't go. Okay.
Why did she back up? She could have backed up. She just sat there. Anyway, let's back to our conversation. That's over.
I don't know. Yeah, okay.
Bill,
That was exciting.
you